Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Erndales. My name is Dale, and I am coming to you from Western Manitoba, Canada, where it is raining. And it has been raining for, it seems like forever now. I sometimes think maybe I'm on the West Coast instead of just Western Manitoba. But yeah, it's been really dismal, wet, dreary. I don't know what other adjectives I could possibly, well, I could go on, but I'm not going to. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I know I'm a day late and I'm also $1 short. Well, more than $1, but we won't go there. Yeah, it's been kind of a weird week for me. I can't exactly say as I have anything planned to tell you or show you, but I will do my best because my brain has sort of left the skull. I don't know why. Maybe it's turning 70. Is that what happens? You all who have already gone through this little journey, do you just all of a sudden at 70 become like, woo? Anyway, yeah, as I said, it's been kind of, I gotta sit up a bit. There, that's better. It's been kind of nothing week, really, considering it was my 70th birthday and it was Thanksgiving, and today is actually our 41st anniversary. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it's been kind of different. I've been really on a very low key. I have messed up more than I've created. I don't know. This has just been one of those weeks. I guess we all do have those weeks, don't we? I mean, we can't always accomplish everything that we think we're going to do or start things that we're already finished in our head. This is my biggest problem. My brain is so far ahead of my hands that it leaves me frustrated because I can't catch up. And I think that's part of what happened this week. I have so many things that I'm thinking about doing, making, sharing, and then it just kind of blows up in my head because I can't do what I'm trying to think I should do. Does that make any sense? I'm not making any sense. So I'm not going to tell you any more like that because it'll just come out all wrong anyway. So, Socktober. I had actually forgot it was Socktober until about the 3rd or 4th of October. And then I got all excited and I jumped right in, boom, with both feet, no pun intended. And I messed up. I can't tell you how many times I have frogged socks, not sogs, socks, in Socktober. And I'll show you what I've accomplished, which isn't very much at all. And again, I'm beating myself up for it because I thought that I could really get a real good jump start on things, and it's just not turning out that way. So I'm going to show you the messes that I've made. So the first pair of socks that I started as soon as I realized it was actually Socktober were a pair of Christmas socks for my son John. And I actually finished one, and I have shown it on a short. They are, I'll turn this way. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. I'm not sure he's going to like them. And I've started the second one, and I'm just doing the rib. But the problem that I'm having with these beautiful socks here, I'll do a little closer. I'm doing the waffle stitch on these. And the problem that I'm having with this is this yarn, and I can't remember what this yarn is. It's been in my stash for a long, long time. It's very, very fine. Like, it is the finest fine sock yarn that I have ever tried to work with. And I decided, I don't know why, I think because of the fine yarn, I decided to use a 2.25 needle, which made it tighter even more. And so I don't know if he's going to be able to get his heel in these. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. And it's got me a little worried because whenever I've made socks for men, I've used the thicker end of a sock yarn, like Croy or one of those, and I've used a 2.75 needle. And for the men that I've made socks for, that's pretty much what I use is Croy, because I know they're hard wearing. It's a little bit better for men. But these were for Christmas, and I wanted to do a nice thinner sock for him that he could wear to work, maybe, or whatever. And he likes a really short leg. He doesn't, in fact, this is going to be too long. He'll complain about this. He, if I took the cuff right off, that probably, like if I made it to about here, that would be perfectly fine with him. He's very frustrating to make socks for. Anyway, so I made this with an extremely fine sock yarn and a 2.25 needle, or yeah, 2.25 millimeter needle. And the fabric is beautiful. I have no complaints. For a lady or even for a guy, the fabric is beautiful. I'm just really worried that there's not enough room in here because of the size of the needles and the yarn. So I'm going to block them and see what happens. Like, oh, and the other thing is I use 64 stitches. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have gone up to 72 stitches if I was going to use a 2.25 needle and this very fine yarn. I don't know what to do. I'm tempted to frog them and re-knit them with a different needle. But if I knit them with a 2.75 needle, are they going to be all loosey-goosey? I don't like that, you know. So, yeah, I don't know. So instead of continuing with the second sock, which is cast on, I cast on something else. So one of my brothers has a birthday coming up in November the 11th. And I've made him socks before and he loves them. He's going to be 79. And he does love the heavier socks. So I started a pair of socks. I had some oddballs of Croy and I thought, well, I'm just going to put some socks together. Well, I almost finished one and then realized that there was no way I was going to be able to make a second one to match. So I frogged all of that and I've started again. This time, oh, and it's gotten all tangled up. This time, I got a mess here. Excuse me. Oh dear, what did I do? Oh. Okay. This time, I'm doing two together because likewise, I think I'm going to have enough for these socks, but I'm using Croy. Again, it's leftover Croy. This is a blue. It's not coming out as blue on here. This is Cascade Colors. And the other one is Cascade something else. I can't remember. Or this is Cascade Colors. I don't know. So I'm doing two at a time. And I think I will have enough to finish both of these socks. The heel, toes, and cuffs will be in the dark, and the rest will be in this pretty color here. It's sort of a greeny blue, and there is blue of this color in this. It's pulling it out. You can see it better in the natural light. The lighting in here is terrible today. So these might be completed, hopefully soon. But yeah, this is the second attempt at socks for him. The first ones were frogged. And then I started a pair of socks, and I'm going to get even more tangled up here. I started a pair of socks for Olive, my little great niece, Olive, who I made the bear and all those things for. So these are going to be her socks. The heel is going to be in a bright blue, like a sort of a midnighty, but on the bright side blue, and the toe will be in this other color. And I think these will be fine. So that is my Socktober disaster. Here we are past the middle of October and I haven't even finished one pair of socks yet. But Try not to beat myself up about it because, oh well. Now, my brother's socks, I will finish those first because they have to get to the mail. And I don't know what to do about those red socks. I do love them. They turned out so beautiful too with the stitch and everything, but I'm just not 100% sure that they're going to work for him. So we will see. I will have to make up my mind. And then I still haven't finished the gloves that I'm working on for Jonathan. Seems like he's the problem. However, I have other things that I'm making for him, and maybe that's what's going on really with the knitting. I'm struggling with the knitting, period. I'm not enjoying it. I'm really not enjoying it. I have kind of switched. I don't know. I'm not, and I think that's why I'm having so much difficulty, is because I'm not getting the joy out of this at all like I usually would. Maybe I've overdone it with knitting. I don't know what it is, but I've got a hanker to crochet. So I don't know. I will try and finish all of these things, but I don't think I'm going to start anything else. I don't think I'm going to start any other knitting for right now because I'm really not having a good time with it. What I am having a good time with is painting. And I think that's where my mind has been going, really, more onto the painting and drawing and stitching. I have been doing some stitching. So I did finish one bird that I started these quite a while ago. I'm trying to get a hold of the string here. So here's the first one. Now, these birds were inspired by Rita on Gone Rustic, and if you don't watch Rita, you should, because she's amazing. But she showed birds that she had done. Hers are a lot more rustic in that she's using more rustic fabrics. She adds hardware on hers and things like that. But I wanted something more Victorian, so I just found pretty fabrics and laces, and I stitched over top of everything, and I think I like my birds. I'm pretty happy with them. So this is the first one, and I have it hanging on my old church window in the living room where I have some cardinals hanging. So that's where this one's going to stay. You always keep the first thing you make, I hope. That's what my Aunt Margaret used to say. Always keep the first thing that you make, if it's something that you've not done before. And then I have two more, and I don't know why I'm doing these birds, because what am I going to do with them? It was my intention originally to sell them. However, the way things are now, with postage and mailing to different countries, all the restrictions and all the hoo-ha, I'm not anxious to do that, which is too bad because I really wanted to sell some of my stuff, and I know I have had some of you inquiring about that, and it was my intentions to open up a little shop, but not right now, not while things are the way they are. So this is the second bird, and I have finished the stitching on this. I just got to put an eye on it. This one is blue. I don't know if you can see the blue in it. And then it's going to have this blue velvet on the back. It's sort of a bluish gray velvet. So all I have to do is put an eye on it and then cut it off of here and then stitch it together. So this one turned out really pretty too. And you can see the stitching in the tail and all the way through. I just have to find an eye. I love the flower on this one. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's so pretty, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I would have sold it. So, yeah, this one I'm going to, and I've just been blanket stitching the bottom and the top together and then stuffing it as I go. They're really pretty. Now, I didn't have a pattern for this. I saw Rita, hers are not quite as long and elegant. Hers are more stubby, but I thought, I tried to draw one, and I didn't care for what I came up with. So I just went on the internet on coloring pages, and I've done this over the years for when I've needed an image for something, and and it's been a bigger image, something like this that's, more just general image. I have gone on coloring pages for children and found the image and either blew it up or shrunk it down or whatever I did. And that's what this is. It's just a coloring page. In fact, if I can find it, I'll show it to you. Hold on one second. There. That's that's my pattern. It's just a piece out of a coloring book. And there was all kinds of different birds. You could have made cardinals, or I really wanted to do a robin, but they didn't have. They had a English robin, but not an American robin on there. But this is pretty much a robin shape anyway. It's a little bit big, but yeah. So that's where I got my pattern from. So it's easy for you to do. And if you wanted to, if you want to have more make more patterns, print 3 of them. And this comes from my old paper toll days. You print 3 of the same thing, and then you look at it as far as what stands out. So the first layer would be just this shape. The second layer, this is on top of the first layer, and then this is on top of the first and the second layer. So this is how you can build your dimension up. So you could cut this and this out separately and make your pieces from that. That would be how I would do it. If I didn't have all these kinds of trims and I was just using pieces of fabric, that probably would be how I would do it. But mine all have a lot of, see, there's a lot of different trim pieces on here. So I just layered all the trims. That's how I did mine. And I have a third one. I haven't stitched this one yet. It's just pinned down. And that is this one here. And again, I've done the same thing with this one. I've just used trimmed, mostly lace and things like that for this one. So I will be stitching this one, another red one. And I've just used the trims and followed the body lines with it. And I think this one's going to be really pretty too. And the other thing with the birds is your starting fabric is really important. If you want to have a really pretty bird, find something with a lot of pretty flowers on it, because that you don't have to do anything. It's right there. Like the head of this bird is actually just the fabric. It's not me at all. I haven't done anything to it. And already it's nice. So that's the birds. And I'm sorry I can't sell any because I really wanted to. And what else have I done? Oh yeah, I've done another piece of stitching. I have been putting together a book. I bought a mixed media sketchbook type of thing, and it's got some really good stern pages in it, and it's got ring binding, but I don't like the cover of it. Hold on, I'll get that and show that to you too. This. And in it, I have been putting my paintings that I'm from my course that I've been taking. So I will do a flip through at the end of this video so that you can see, but I don't like this cover, so I've decided to stitch myself a cover for it. And I found a piece that I had started for something else, and I decided, well, I don't remember what I started it for, so I will use this. So I'm stitching on this, and right now I've just been stitching this. I don't know if it's supposed to be the sun. I have no idea what I'm doing there, but yeah, I've just been really hard stitching right in here now. And I have kind of fallen in love with the chain stitch. I love how this chain stitch works when you double it up. I don't know, can you see how pretty that is, that chain stitch right here? Where is it? There. It makes like a rope. It is so nice. I love it. So, yeah, I just started doing this the other day. This isn't going to be quite long enough. I'm going to have to add on the ends, and this is just going to be like a pocket type where I can slide that in and out. It's just going to be, it's not going to be a permanent. I'm not going to glue it down or anything like that. So that's the other thing I've been stitching, and this has been nice. I've been really enjoying this, and that's what I'm saying, that it's been an off week because things that used to really make me happy to do are not making me happy. And other things, well, stitching always has made me happy, but I'm just sort of gravitating to a different something, craft, I guess. Now, back to the knitting for just a second. I have always been involved in a lot of different groups according to the craft on Facebook. And I'm sort of backing away from Facebook anyway, but the other day I was on a knitting group, and I won't say which one, but it's really sad. You know, I really think that the media has ruined a lot of things, obviously, but it's gotten into the craft groups now. When you go onto a group and you go into the comments because you're following a certain thread about something, and all you see is bickering and people being awful to one another, to the point where these knitters were slamming each other because of how they cast on and where they're pulling their yarn from, the center or the outside of the ball. And it just went on and on. And whether they call yarn, yarn, or wool. Really, people? Is this what we've come to? Where like people who have so much in common and so much to share to one another are picking each other apart over how you cast on, whether you call it wool or yarn, or I don't know. It just, I went off the group. I canceled that one. I just, and I, little by little, this is what's happening when I go on craft sites. And so maybe all of this has just gotten into my head, and I've just sort of not wanted to have anything to do with this stuff. You know, I want to do my crafts. I want to share it with you, but I don't want all the anxiety and the anger and the, oh, it's really sad. You know, when we have so much in common. And the thing about sharing like this and being on the groups, and I'm sure anybody who's my age probably can identify with what I'm going to say. Over the years, I have not had crafting friends because I did things that most of my friends didn't do crafts, or you know, they didn't knit. They, well, one of them crocheted, but our focus on our friendship wasn't based around a craft. So if I wanted to just do something like a craft, I did it on my own because I didn't have friends who shared that. I had one friend who did share a craft, but other than that, so it was a lonely, it was fulfilling, but it was always kind of a lonely thing that we did because we didn't share it with anybody. It was even kind of a mindset back in the 70s, 80s that if you made things by hand, you were being cheap. That was the mindset then. It's totally different now, but that's how it was back then. So if you were a maker, you were kind of considered to be somebody who didn't have any money, so you had to make everything, you know, and that was how it was. And so when all these groups started happening, you joined them because you found people who were exactly like you. Finally, you had people that you could talk to about your making. And now it's these people are attacking one another. It's so sad. It just, anyway, I didn't mean to start this rant, but this is the week that it's been in my head. I have a new project that I want to start, and it's just for me. It is a mixed media art journal for Christmas, a Christmas art journal. And my inspiration has come from this old scrapbook that was my mom's. And scrapbook is, I don't know how old it is, but I think it goes back as far as the 40s. Now, some of the pages don't have anything in because she has removed. But in here, I just wanted to show this to you. 6-pack of towels, 8-day clock, linen tablecloth, end table. These were her gifts from being married, her wedding gifts that she put in here. And she's taken, obviously they had cards here from whoever gave her a pair of towels. There was a card there. So she's used these cards. And my mom did agree, and she used a lot of her cards for in her egg. She would cut them up, take an image off of them and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of these have gone. But there's a lot of wonderful cards, like this old Valentine card up here. Here she had written, this is journaling. This is exactly what people are doing nowadays. This is what she did back in the 40s. She was married in 42, and she was doing this. So she had a card here, and then she had written beside it. She had beautiful handwriting too. Anyway, in this, there's anniversary cards, and then she's got obviously different things that happened. These are from a local paper. These are weddings, death notices, stuff like that. Then we get into the birthday cards, which are so fantastic compared to the stuff that you can find nowadays. These are just great. But I'm going to flip ahead really fast here. Don't mean to make you dizzy. And this paper is so thin and it's wonderful. I want to use some of this up because the book is deteriorating. It's a paper book to begin with. And there's so much in here that I can use. So, Christmas 1941, a house coat and slippers, a box of handkerchiefs, a pair of silk stockings, and a box of chocolates, and a scarf. Christmas 1940, a lovely dresser set and chocolates. 1939, first Christmas, a box of cosmetics. Those were all for my dad, I think. Anyway, I want to flip ahead here because in my art journal, I would like, oops, that's not, look at these. Oh, I just love this book. I could spend days in here, and I have spent days in here, but it's in kind of sad shape. And this is where I got all those Christmas cards that I shared with you on that one video. Look at this. This looks like a real watch. This is where I got all these cards from. So I'm getting to the Christmas ones here. So they start here. There's one, that's a Christmas one. But here's a whole bunch more. Look at this. Isn't this sweet? So I'm going to use some of these images on in my journal. Here's a good thing. At this holiday season, we pause to express our appreciation of your valued patronage during the past year, and we wish you the compliment of the season. Davidson and Robertson, members of Montreal Stock Exchange, Windsor Hotel, Quebec. My parents were in Quebec at that time during the war. My dad was working. He had a heart murmur, so he couldn't go to war. But so he went to the nickel mines in Quebec, and that's where he worked during the war, making things for the war. And here, look what she's done here. These are people who served in the war. She's written their names. She's made a little collage here. So she did this stuff long before it was popular to do it, and I think she wasn't the only one. Scrapbooks were a thing, and scrapbooking was a thing. It feels like I've got 2 pages here, but Maybe I haven't. Anyway, we're getting to the Christmas stuff. Look at all the Christmas things that I can use in my art journal. There's so much here. There's absolutely so much inspiration. So I'm going to be going through here and selecting images. I love this. This is beautiful. For sure that's going to be in there. But there's funny things too. A Christmas greeting. Hey, you. Been coming by the Fisher's house. Drop this off for me, will you? Yeah, nice stuff. But there's lots of Christmas in here still. And I don't feel bad because this book is going to decompose itself one of these days, and why not use these things into a book where I can pass the book on to Jonathan. He'll appreciate it, the one that I make, because he likes that kind of stuff. Look at that beautiful card. It's stuck here. I like that she put the year too. That was 1946. This blue one, 1946. These are such treasures. And this is probably where some of the ones that I have out of the book were. Oh, there's one with a piano. That's me. Yeah, they're all so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to find inspiration for my project right here. Look at all the poinsettias. Isn't that gorgeous? I might have to paint some of these again too, like I painted that other one. I'd like to try poinsettia. That would be kind of fun. So there's lots of things that I can use here. And I have another box of stuff that I've already collected. Oh, here's something. Hurricane of Rouyn-Noranda. Hurricane struck Rouyn-Noranda at 5 o'clock. First storm in the history of Quebec where 5 lives were lost and 16 badly injured. 1945. A hurricane in Quebec. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, this is such an inspiration, and I'm going to show you what I've got gathered already. So I've got lots of things that I've been collecting. Photos, papers, and this is the little book that I'm going to use to make my art book. It's just a children's book. It's quite beat up, and it's just a nice size, so I'm going to be using this. I'm just going to do my pages. There's not that many pages in here. If there's too many, I'll stick them together. In fact, I might anyway. And I might even just use this little card as well. It's got people's names on it. So this is the book that I'm going to use, and then I've got all of this paper in here. I've collected a lot of stuff. I have magazine stuff. I have pages from newspapers at Christmas time, old newspapers that have songs written on them. This is from 2016. So I've got lots of stuff here, and I have all these old cards that have already come out of my mom's scrapbook. These are the ones that I've shown you on other videos. So I have lots of things. Now I just need some fabric. I want to get some Christmas fabric, even though I don't have any fabric in it. This is all just paper stuff. I have quite a few Christmas magazines, decorating magazines, holiday magazines. So this is going to be a project I'm going to be starting this week. And this I'm just doing for me. That's all, just for me. So I will show you any progress I have coming up, and maybe I'll even do a video showing you how I do a page. Not that I've done any of this before. I haven't. I've never done an art journal before, but I would love to try it, and I think Christmas is a good place to start. So, watch this space. And then I have one thing else to say, and that is I have decided that I'm not going to do Vlogmas per se. I will do more videos, more Christmas related videos, perhaps music, or I have some crafts that I want to do with you, but I'm not doing a daily Vlogmas. That's maybe what I should have said. November is solidly booked with medical appointments for both myself and my husband, and that for us means on the highways going back and forth. So I won't have time to do the prep for all of this. And so I have prepped, or I am going to prep a few things, but not a daily. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know I had put it out there and everybody said, "Oh yeah, we'd love it," and I would love it too. But this year's not the year, not the way our year has gone. So I hope you understand, and I know you do because you are the most wonderful, understanding people. So that's been my messed up week. Hopefully this week will be better. I don't know. We'll see. I am going tomorrow. Gary has to start some extensive dental work, and I'm going to drop him off, and I'm going to spend some quality time in a secondhand store. I can't wait. I'm sorry he's going to be in pain, but I can't wait to get to that secondhand store and spend some time because it's a good one. They have a lot of stuff there. So I hope you've all had a better week than I have, and I hope you have a good week this week. Stay healthy, everybody. Stay happy. Stay focused. I can't, but you do what you can do to stay focused. And I will hopefully see you next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for caring. Bye for now.